YouTube? That's ride height. You see, I still got to paint these bars for the link bars on that side. We have no major leaks. Nothing really being a problem. We're sitting at roughly ride height. Have a little more adjustment. It could actually probably go up just a hair more. But until I get the front suspension done and know exactly where we're going to sit it, this is it. This is our 4-link setup. This is our rear suspension, airbags, track bar, self-adjusting ride height valve. I mean, you got everything you need here. This is going to be one of the best suspension setups we could possibly have came up with, I think. So, yeah, now all we got to do is get the rest of it done and test it out. Give you a quick rundown of it here. Alright, so there's our link bars that need to be painted. Yeah, the angle's horrible. But cool thing about the angle I'm using and the shortness of the bars is it's going to lift in the rear with the bags. It's going to lift. It's going to act like a semi-truck, so it's going to be great for towing and hauling. Not great for performance driving at all, but it'll be great for towing and hauling, which is what I'm building this thing to do. It's holding air pressure pretty good. I mean, all air systems will eventually leak down, but right now we're up in the air and it's sitting there and it's doing its thing, which is great. So there's our bag. It's about 6 inches tall. It's actually going to be fairly soft. We can feel there's still some give to it. So it's going to be riding pretty good. I think those bags are rated for 8,000 pounds a piece. Give me 16,000 pounds of rear capacity. And when you do about 37 on a 19.5 tire, depending on lower load range rating I'm looking at going with, which is more of a off-road terrain, you know, we're going to be pretty 15,000 pounds at least on the rear, 14,000 pounds. Plenty of rear capacity. This axle itself is severely underrated from Ford, believe it or not. So, we got our leveling valve and the track bar bracket. Just made a little tab coming off the track bar bracket. Track bar bracket, as you saw in the other video, making it up, bolts back here to the diff cover and has one bolt here. Hoping that'll be enough. I really am. I mean, all it's doing is lateral location. So we'll find out. The other bracket's on the bottom of the bag mount down here, which it's a little hard for me to get a view of that. I got to tighten up the link bar bolts still. I'm going to get these jack stands up on some 4x4s, I think, and then drop the rear down, take everything out, paint it, tighten it up. Also go find 9/16 bolts here. But functionally speaking, the suspension's there. It's done. Also, you don't see shocks. I'm working something out there. I can go with a factory style lift shock, or I have something I acquired that's going to be a fairly interesting ordeal here, but if it works out, definitely going to be making a video on that one. Set of Bilsteins, actually. So, what else? Oh, we have these. This is dump valves. Dump valves back under the dump your suspension back under the trailer, raise it back up. I think that'll be pretty cool. But if you look, our frame's already sitting roughly about factory height, maybe a little higher to start with. I think it's about 2 inches higher than factory is what I figured. 2 to 4 inches higher. I'll also do the measurements again, just to see. But that being said, you know, we have our ride height right there, and she's holding air. She's holding. And I'll have the ability to adjust the ride height a bit, or I may even set those dump valves up to make it jack the rear up, but I don't know why I'd need that with all the clearances I have. I mean, I'm not taking it off-road. Might take it down some dirt roads, but it's not going to be a four-wheeler. It's not going to be an expedition vehicle. So yeah, there's an overview of the finished suspension. I'm excited. I'm happy. There's a lot going on here, but it's been a trip to engineer. It really has. It's been a lot of design work, a lot of measurements, fab work, custom made brackets, custom cut front and rear. for this, you know, so these frame mounts are custom cut, and those are all custom cut, welded up to stock perches, through bolts, had to come up with a bottom perch because they couldn't get a U-bolt to work ideally. Because you couldn't get the nuts tight enough, really. There wasn't just wasn't room. Man, this thing's been a trip, honestly. Would I do it again? Yeah. Would I want a little more room to work? Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And classic garage door lift right there. Every time it goes up, I had jacked up a little higher earlier, so I had to get that track bar bolt in, get it all to line up perfect. That's just where it happened to line up at the time. And the side-to-side movement's pretty minimal, actually, with that track bar. I'm happy with that. I was expecting to see a little more, but I mean, it's not much side-to-side movement at all, so I can do it. You can do it. Go make your own custom air ride suspension. Thanks for watching Peterson Auto. Please like, comment, and subscribe.